The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Do the latest draft rumors surrounding the Jets even make any sense? We'll talk about the latest with Omari Brown from uSTADIUM. That and much more. It is the Jake Asman Show. Live on a Wednesday. Let's hit it and get it started.
Wish you could have been a Jet, Fernando.
Let's see what happens.
What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show presented by PrizePicks. Reminder, our gangrene takeover in Pittsburgh is quickly approaching. Thursday, April 23rd. We're going all day long, baby. 15 days, 9 hours, 48 minutes, and 57 seconds. From right now is our first ever draft party on site at the NFL Draft. It's free to attend the draft, and it's free to attend our draft party. Make sure you RSVP. Going to be doing a raffle for anyone who RSVPs that is going to be there. Plus, we'll have some other perks for all the Jet fans who are making the trip. But all the info is on that Partiful link, which is in the description for every video. And again, the live chat, I just posted the link for anyone who's tuned in live. Make sure you RSVP if you're making the trip. Can't wait to meet and see again so many ASMANIACs that are going to be there. With that, let's say hello to our good friend Omari Brown from uSTADIUM. Omari, how we feeling, man? 15 days out until the NFL draft. We'll have to get into.
We feel good, Jake. It is the dog days. We have exhausted all of these prospects. We have combed, cut through, debated, lashed out at friends. Listen, man, we're right in the thick of it right now. So I think that a lot of us are exhausted. I'll speak for myself personally, being my first draft cycle. I cannot wait till Roger Goodell is stepping at that podium and you guys are going crazy at the ASMANIAC draft party. So, and the uSTADIUM draft party as well, too. So, you know, like lots of great options.
Oh, no. Is it going to be one of those shows again with Omari's internet? I can't handle this, folks. I can't do this again. Doc already wrote, how's Omari's internet feeling? I mean, that's
time
the
to get
thing.
this thing rolling.
We lost you there, Omari. We lost you. I'm a little nervous again. We're going to have internet gate. Oh, yeah. It's going to be one of those shows. God. And he said he was using Ethernet internet, too. Apparently not good.
Now I got your back. Yeah, the Ethernet is it's not against us. Yeah, now we're back. But listen, we're going to switch over to the phone if this keeps going up like this. Right. But, yeah.
We'll keep it rolling here. We'll see what we can do. What did you make of the comments from Schrager and from Jeremiah on Peter Schrager's podcast that they're hearing it's David Bailey, not Arvell Reese, despite all the speculation and the betting odds and just everything kind of gearing towards us thinking that the Jets were going to take Reese at 2?
Well, it doesn't fully surprise me because David Bailey is, I would say, he just pass rushing arsenal and pass rushing juice and pass rushing pedigree. David Bailey is going to be the best bet, I would say. And I've long said this. Just because I have a preference to Arvell Reese doesn't mean that I can't see that David Bailey is a phenomenal player. They all have flaws in their game when you're talking about the edge rushers. So that's Ruben Bay and Arvell Reese and David Bailey. But again, if you what do you have to do in this league? The Jets were damn near last in takeaways and getting to the quarterback. What does David Bailey do? David Bailey, if anything else, he's going to get to the pass rusher. So I think Jets fans, we need to, get to the point where we're okay with all these guys because they're all going to be great football players. And I just think it just depends on, Arvell Reese, he's going to have a longer runway to become to what some of us think he is. I think day one, David Bailey, he's going to be able to get to the passer. And hopefully the Jets add to their offense enough to where they need a closer. Now, I understand that some people think that we already have somebody in-house with that similar skill set who's going to be more of a finesse, pin your ears back and worry about the run on the way to the quarterback and Will McDonald. But again, in the draft where there's no real consensus top player, and the safest players in the draft are going to be at positions that are lesser value. I think you just go get the guy that you know he's going to be able to get to the passer. And bringing back Carl Dunbar, I have
no. This is tough, man.
in the run game.
We lost you again, Omari, but now you're back. I don't know. You're talking about Carl Dunbar. You sounded optimistic about Dunbar.
Yeah, I'm optimistic about Dunbar being able to coach up David Bailey in the run game.
If they go with Reese, project how they use him year one. Like, what would be the thought process for Aaron Glenn, Dunbar, putting this defense together? Are they going to use Reese on the outside as a linebacker, you think, on first and second down, and then, hey, third down, go get after the quarterback? What would be your thought process on what a potential game plan looks like with Arvell Reese being involved?
Yeah, Jake, you're spot on. I think Arvell's going to spend 60 to 65% of his time probably playing off ball in that joker or that jack role, probably. So he's probably going to be the strong side off ball linebacker on early downs. And then when Glenn wants to create some 5-man looks, some simulated pressures, and then when they go into nickel, he's probably going to be that delayed blitzer, that QB spy, or that fourth or fifth guy coming from a different area where to just try to cause some confusion and disrupt the pass protection. So I would say a good year for Arvell Reese would probably be, he's giving us a handful of sacks, he's causing a lot of disruption, and he's neutralizing all of the mobile QBs that we have in our division. I would say I would look at Arvell Reese as a more athletic Jalen Walker with the potential and a 2 to 3 year runway, potentially becoming a Micah Parsons. Now, I'm not trying to, even though I did compare him as his ceiling, if everything goes right, to Micah, that is just a very high standard for him to live up to. So I think that there's going to be more of a development plan with Arvell Reese.
I think we almost got through that one. We made it. Your internet's fighting for dear life. Try your phone, Omari. Let's just go right to the phone. The picture quality might suffer, but we'll see if that works a little bit. It's going to be a show. I'll tell you what, if we can't get this figured out with Omari, I got plenty of time to take your call. So I have already pinned the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline link. And while we wait for Omari to do the switch over here, let me tell you all what we're playing for at the end of our show today. I have a signed Wayne Corbett helmet up for grabs for any ASMANIAC who enters. When you enter for the Corbett helmet, a Joe Namath signed helmet is the top prize you'll qualify for on Saturday, plus a Darrelle Revis signed helmet, Braylon Allen signed jersey, and a fourth prize, Anthony Beck signed jersey. So we got a lot of raffle prizes this week. Yeah, we're approaching the draft. For anyone who wants in on the Wayne Corbett raffle, make sure you enter with a super chat, $10 or higher, or a gifted membership that qualifies. Big Man Victim writes in, how would you feel if Reese played defensive line and linebacker and split it 50-50? If that's how they use him, I would understand it. I don't know if it will be exactly 50-50, though, because think about it. If he's going to play linebacker, you'd think on first and second down. I just don't think that would be an even split necessarily. But look, I mean, if you're taking Reese, you got to have faith you have a real plan for him. I feel better about that pick because of the Carl Dunbar hire and the fact that I think Reese is not like a tweener guy where people are like, oh, he's Isaiah Simmons. I think he's already really, really good as a linebacker. At the bare minimum, you're not drafting a player at 2 that's a linebacker. But at the bare minimum, he's elite at that. And I think he's shown you enough that he can turn out to be an elite rusher. Now, does it scare you that it's a bit of a projection? Sure. But I do think we're making a little too much of how big of a projection it is. And again, I like David Bailey too. So if they went Bailey, I'm not going to criticize the Jets' thought process there. I think Robbie Sabo is very extreme in not liking Bailey. And I think the other side of that is a guy like Frankie V from uSTADIUM is very extreme and not liking Reese. I think there's a scenario where both of these players are really good. I think we're allowed to like more than one player. I will say this, though. If they take Reese at 2, I don't want them to take Jordan Tyson at 16. That scares me, right? It feels like there's just too much projection with both of those picks. Like with Reese, you're really projecting, and Tyson, you're banking on, hey, his history of injuries in college, him being healthy now in the NFL. Those are the concerns, right? So I think I almost would rather, like, if the Jets are going to swing big at 2, and then at 16, I don't want to say play it safe, but I think be a little more risk adverse at 16 if you're going to take the swing at 2, if that makes sense. So that's how I look at it. And I'll continue to say it. My dream scenario for the Jets is them being able to move down and find a trade partner. Do I think they're going to find a trade partner, though? I think it's easier said than done. I don't think it's impossible, but again, I'm not betting on it. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Hope everyone's having a great time. Great week so far. We are presented by PrizePicks. Play $5, get $50 instantly in lineups. I put together a PrizePick lineup card for all my fellow Yankees fans out there. I do one with the Mets, but they're playing during the day today again. So I wanted to give people an opportunity to enter these picks who don't get a chance to watch the show live. So here we go. This is a $20 power play on PrizePicks to win $75. Jeff McNeil, former Met. I need him to touch base at least once. Ben Rice, who's been red hot. Need him to touch base at least once. Jazz Chisholm, who had a hit last night. Need him to touch base at least once. So $20 to win $75 over on PrizePicks. Lock in your plays. And again, when you sign up, make sure you use the promo code HMA. Shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring our show. Omari will join us shortly. In the meantime, I'll mix in some calls while we wait for his return. How we feeling, Jet fans, about the draft? For those here for ASMANIAC Madness, we have a rare off day in ASMANIAC Madness, and that is because we have adjusted the format, the schedule for the Sweet 16. The Sweet 16 is going to be starting tomorrow afternoon with Chef Kevin and Lane Kerner, the Lane Train, going head-to-head. We're only going to do one matchup per day starting tomorrow. Today also happens to be a one matchup day because we have only one matchup left in the round of 32. That will be this afternoon featuring Bobby Midnight, the 2 seed, and Party with Peg and Artie, the 7 seed. So get ready for that matchup this afternoon. In fact, we will hear from Bobby Midnight, who will make his case in just a bit why you should vote for him this afternoon. But right now, let's see if Omari's phone is actually working. He's called back in. Omari, let's see if this works.
You got me?
Oh, I got you.
Oh, let's go. Let's go, man. All
Let's
right,
let it
where
rip.
were we? Where were we? All right, so Arvell Reese's utilization year one.
Yeah,
I would
you
say,
studied him a lot, so give us a feel
Yeah.
for why NFL teams are oohing and ahhing over a guy who's only 20, who just doesn't have as much experience as a guy like Bailey, who's done it at a high level for multiple years in college.
Well, number one, like you said, Jake, he's already 20 years old and he's already shown an understanding of an NFL defense. I think we can all agree that Matt Patricia, while some of us it left a little bit to be desired as a head coach, he is respected as a defensive mind. So the concepts that they were running, the multiple defense, showing the 3-4 looks, him playing on ball, off ball, having to set the edge, also having to make mic checks and identify calls and make adjustments and get players and his teammates into a different position. All of that translates. So the thing that's going to make you pause with Arvell Reese is going to be number one, the age. Number one, the lack of production. I mean, he's had less than 5 turnovers. And again, he's only started for 1 year. But I think this is going to be similar to the discussion that we had between Aiden Hutchinson versus Trayvon Walker. So it's projection versus production. So it's all about the environment that you're bringing these kids into. But I've seen enough from Arvell Reese's year of starting and what Matt Patricia has spoke about him and the versatility and where the game is and what I think Aaron Glenn is going to do. I'm a huge fan of Arvell Reese.
I really like him as well. I do think there's some members of this fan base that just see an Ohio State guy that high and they get Vernon Gholston PTSD. What would you say to those Jet fans out there who suggest these two are similar as a reason why you don't want to draft Arvell Reese as high as 2 in this case?
I would completely understand him. I think that the same feelings that you have about an Ohio State edge rusher in the top 6 is the same feelings that most of the fans have about drafting a lineman in the mid rounds, or God forbid, drafting a second round wide receiver, because we all know it's been a graveyard of names for those type of guys. So I would just say, listen, we can't operate from fear. We all have faith in Darren Muji as an executive. We all want to believe in Aaron Glenn. So what I would say is, trust your eyes. And if you're not going to be a film person, listen to the show, listen to me, Jake, Joe Blewett, and all the other people that come on here as well too, because I would say just watch what Arvell Reese does. Again, his pass rush arsenal isn't going to be equivalent to what David Bailey is. But if you're looking at a football player and what he's going to be asked to do, he's going to be asked to set a strong edge. The Jets were not good at setting the edge or stopping the run And I think that all of the moves that they made this offseason is geared towards stopping the run and being a more physical team. He played in the Big Ten. We're seeing him long arm, Penn State left tackles. You look at the play where, and again, I understand that he's rushing. He has a 2 or 3 yard runway, so he does have the leverage and the momentum coming. But again, he's 20 years old and he's extremely projectable. So one thing that I do think, I have questions, and I'm sure, Jake, you have questions for Aaron Glenn as a head coach. As a defensive play caller, Aaron Glenn knows what he's doing. Those Detroit defenses, while they weren't, listen, you're not going to confuse them with the Rex Ryan defense, but they were playing with a lead a large portion of the time. So that is going to affect the way you call the game. I have faith in Aaron Glenn as a play caller, and then I also have faith in Carl Dunbar, Demario Davis. For as out on this regime and this coaching staff as I am for them to develop a young quarterback, I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum for them for cultivating and creating an environment for a young edge rusher or / hybrid player.
Let's shift to pick 16 because it feels like, this offseason, this draft season has really gone in like waves where there was so much discourse about pick 2 at the beginning. And then it shifted to the 16th overall selection and the Ty Simpson conversation. And then we were right back to pick 2. So let's now get back to pick 16 and the discourse surrounding that slot. What's the best case scenario in your mind for the Jets with that 16th overall pick? Realistic best case scenario.
Realistic best case that everyone is scared of Jordan Tyson's hamstrings and people think that are questioning his toughness. I want Jordan Tyson. I want to get an elite front 7 player, and then I want to get an elite complement to Garrett Wilson. And I think that Jordan Tyson has the highest ceiling of all of the wide receivers in this class. Now, that doesn't mean that I think he's the best, but I believe that his overall ceiling. And Jake, what did we talk about a couple of times on here? Darren Muji played it, fairly safe. Home run pick with Armand Membu. We don't really know what Mason Taylor is, but again, NFL pedigree on both sides. Azareye'h Thomas, AZ Thomas, same thing, has a brother in the league. So these are safe, good locker room guys. Let's take some swings. Now we could take some swings because we have better vets in place now. The locker room should reflect more of what Aaron Glenn is thinking. So now you could take swings with a guy that may have a few issues or a few concerns, or an Arvell Reese who's more of a project. I would love that. And if Jordan Tyson isn't there, then I'm probably going with another safe pick if all of the wide receivers are gone. Then I'm going Vega Ioane. Then I'm going with arguably a top 5 player in the entire draft if he's there. So I think that that's best case scenario. I want weapons, Jake, and I'm not going to discriminate against those weapons. So if you tell me that if the Jets have Omar Cooper Jr. high on their board, go for it. I just really want to inject some talent and, more importantly, youth into the offensive side of the ball.
So I find it interesting that you like Reese and Tyson, because I almost look at it like this. And again, I'm not denying the upside for Tyson. There's a reason why. I mean, if he didn't have the injury concerns, he's probably a guy that doesn't make it out of the top 10. I get all that. But if you're already kind of taking a project or a big projection at 2, I almost feel like, all right, we get swing big at 2 because we're picking 2nd overall. And I think Reese, it's not like an injury concern. It's just he's young and hasn't done what you're going to necessarily long-term ask him to do. Tyson, I just get nervous with the injury stuff. I think if you're taking Reese at 2, I almost rather than just play it safe at 16. And if Omar Cooper Jr. is there, I have no problem if they just take him.
I completely understand that. But I want to take some swings. And I think Darren Muji, I think that he's afforded himself the luxury to take some of those swings. And Jake, he's going to be running, and somebody in the chat, please look at the actual date. Jordan Tyson's going to be running routes before the draft.
It's like 6 days before. Yeah,
6 days before the draft. Yeah, so pretty soon here. So if Jordan Tyson looks good and you see the explosion, you see the cuts, I think that I'd be okay with that pick. And again, even if you want to go save, Jake, because I totally understand. I have trauma from, Stephen Hill and Devin Smith and Shaq Evans and Chad Hansen. So trust me, I do have that mid-round trauma when it comes to those wide receivers. But I don't know, man. I really just want a guy that in 2 years could say, is he the number 1 or is Garrett the number 1? That's the type of talent that I would like to add. And also, we have to maximize whatever version of Geno Smith that we're going to get. So whether you're going to have somebody that he can trust to go to on 3rd and short or 3rd and long when we need it, or if you just want a kick-ass mauler, beside Olu. I think that those are the two spots that you would go. Those are the two guys that I'm looking at, either Jordan Tyson or Vega Ioane. And I think that either of those would be a home run. And I think that if you can get Jordan Tyson into your building, maybe maybe it's the way he's training. Maybe it's a vitamin deficiency. Maybe you can mitigate that, and that can get better. Odell Beckham had hamstring issues, and that kept him out of the first quarter of the season of his rookie year as well too. And he was able to come back from that.
JSN had some concerns as well. Part of the reason why the Jets passed on him. That clip went viral from Rich telling that story on our Jets Collective. And I had a couple people reach out. Hey, when's the next Jets Collective? It will be tomorrow night. That is Thursday, April 9th, 7 p.m. Eastern. For those of you who are looking forward to the next episode of the Jets Collective, just subscribe to the Jets Collective channel on YouTube to watch it live. What are your personal wide receiver rankings? How many guys do you think are worthy of a first round selection? How many guys, Jet specific, would you be fine with if they took it 16?
So I'm actually dropping my wide receiver rankings tomorrow. I was going back and forth with Joe Blewett and a couple of other guys in the commute this morning. Shout out to the Jets commute. I only have about 14 first round grades right now, and I still have to go through a few. I have to finish up the interior O-line, but I'd be okay. I'm so starved for an offensive weapon that I'd be okay if they took Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate, Omar Cooper, and KC Concepcion. I think that any variation of those five guys I'd be okay with, because I'm not of the mindset that you need to have a big, prototypical X to complement Garrett. You just need somebody that's going to take away attention from Garrett.
Right.
So me, Jake, I would prefer, I don't want to have a guy that we're going to have to worry about, oh, is this guy going to be able to separate? I want a guy that's going to win at the line, win at his release, be where he's supposed to be, catch the ball, and then move the chains. That's really all that I'm focused on. And I'd be happy with all five of those guys. And I think that I'm more bullish on KC Concepcion than a lot of other people as well too, because I think that drops, I don't want to say that drops don't matter, but I think that drops are kind of overrated because it fluctuates. I think about drops the way some people think about receivers. I think it could be volatile. George Pickens had a high drop rate. CeeDee Lamb this previous year had a high drop rate as well too. And I think that we would take CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens today.
What is it about KC Concepcion that stands out to you? Because I feel like you're higher on him than some of the other draft people we've had on during this process.
Absolutely. I think that his route running, I think that he runs the entire route tree. I think that he wins at each level. So he wins off the line, he wins at the break, and he can win at the catch point. Now, drops can be skewed because Marcel Reed wasn't, not to talk down on Marcel Reed, Texas A&M QB, but he wasn't the most accurate passer in college football. And a lot of the balls that KC gets to, he really shouldn't get to at 5'11", 195, whatever he is. So he does have a big catch radius for that. And then I also love the run after catch ability. He's a punt returner as well too. I just think that when he gets the ball in the open field, he's trying to take it to the house. He goes across the middle. His routes have nuance, and he runs a complete route tree. So I'm big on KC Concepcion, and I actually think in a timing-based offense, trying to get rid of the ball quickly, I think that he could be a tremendous compliment to Garrett Wilson. And I would implore a lot of the Asmaniacs out there and people that are watching, go watch some KC Concepcion. You don't have to dive into all 22 if you're not a film nut. Just go watch the way he moves and tell me who KC Concepcion reminds you of next Wednesday.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a great giveaway today. It's a Wayne Corbett signed helmet. Make sure you gift a raffle or gift a membership to enter the raffle like the great Mike D's Nuts just did. Not just a 10 spot. How about an additional 5 spot from MDN? Hit it.
Hey, thank you, Mike D's Nuts. Hey, for another gifted membership. Hey.
A D's Nuts drop. One more time for my...
Hey, thank you, Mike D's Nuts. Hey, for another gifted membership. Hey.
Mike, job well done. I love seeing the D's Nuts emoji fill up the chat. We haven't had a D's Nuts explosion in quite a while. How about this comment from Neil, who I got into an argument over the draft yesterday with? Call back, Neil. We'll finish it because I ran out of time yesterday going to the Yankee game. Neil wrote in, and it's looking more and more like Ty will be the Jets pick at 16. We could finally get a QB. I don't know where Neil is getting this from. I think it's looking more and more like Ty Simpson. Forget being the Jets pick. I don't think he's getting drafted in the first round. I've been on this for about a month or so now, and I think more people are starting to come around. Schrager did his mock, didn't have a team for him in round one. Jeremiah has never had a team for him in the first round. I don't think there's a team that's taking him in round one, unless it's a team like the Cardinals trading back in to make sure they get in front of the Jets at 33.
Yeah, Jake, you are super early to this party. It might have been 6 or 7 weeks ago now. I just don't see it. And again, we've talked about this too. I like Ty the player, but there's just too many questions. And I think that as for Jets fans, if you're going to be nervous about, Jordan Tyson's hamstrings, I think that we have to talk ourselves into a QB. Let's just not overdraft him. I just don't think that this is an environment for Ty Simpson to thrive in. I like the player. We talked about this pre-snap. Ty Simpson has some of the best work in this draft, and that's including potential number one pick, Fernando Mendoza. I think that he reads defense as well. I think that his intermediate game and short game, he is accurate, and he does make a lot of tight window throws. But the questions are there. And the biggest one for me, I just have to, when it comes to the Jets, the lack of starts. Because the lack of starts means that he's going to have to sit and learn. And if this thing can go off the rails pretty quickly, Jake, you and I both know. You do a show about this every week and every day. These things can go off the rails pretty quickly. And I guarantee you by week, let's call it 7. If this thing can get as bad as some of us think that it can get, people will definitely be calling into your show clamoring for Ty Simpson. And the last thing we need is another QB with a lack of experience trying to piece it together in front of what I think is one of the biggest buzzsaws in the NFL. And I don't even want to set him up for failure. But if he's there at 33, all that to say, take a swing.
No problem. They do it at 33. No problem at all. Also, if they wanted to trade out of 33 and he's there, then you have even more value potentially for that pick. So I think if they take him, I'm fine with it. If it's 33, I know some just don't want him altogether. They're just like, just wait till next year. And I get those fans that feel that way. I just think it's worth the swing in round 2, because what if he's actually good, right? We do the scenario, he's terrible. But if he's actually good, like Jackson Dart was for the Giants, right, or Tyler Shuck was for the Saints, now all of a sudden you're set with 3 first-round picks in 2027 that you could really go in any direction with. You could trade some of those picks for proven veterans if you have your quarterback now. You could take those picks and move around the board for non-quarterback players you want. You could trade down and get even more picks and set yourself up to have multiple firsts in 2028 again. That's why I think it's worth, when you already have 2 second-round picks, taking a swing, if you like them, with the 33rd pick. If you love them, then that changes the conversation. You're probably taking them at 16 at that point. I could be wrong. My feeling is that the Jets like them, they don't love them, and they're not going to take them at 16, though.
Well, you know what, Jake, and I'm spot on, not even to push back or anything. What if it gets to, would you be mad at a trade up from 33 to 26 and we only have to surrender, let's say 140 or 103? How would you feel about that if we get him just because, let's say if he does hit, in our scenario, Ty Simpson hits, now we have that 5th-year option. Now we can really maneuver and we don't have to surrender any capital in 2027. So a jump from 33 to, let's say, mid-20s, anywhere from 25 to 27, and we only give up 103. How would you feel about that?
I don't hate that, because then you get the 5th-year option if that's important to them. My preference is to obviously you just take him at 33. What I don't want to do, Mike Tannenbaum, I did a radio segment on this last week. He suggested trading both 2s to get back in to the first round. He suggested, you use 33 and 44, get the 25 with the Bears. And I'm like, Mike, you're a former GM. The point value chart says that's an egregious overpay. If you're just going to trade 2 second-round picks to move back into round 1, take the player at 16 and keep both your second-round picks at that point.
Yeah, all due respect to Mike, he's been in the business. He's been in the big chair that I've, wanted to be in since I was a kid. So, all due respect to Mike, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. This team needs talent. And I think that mindset is why this team is kind of in this spot, just, throwing second-round picks into the wind. Second-round picks can be day 1 contributors. And if you're going to keep all of those, I'm expecting, and I think Jets fans, all of us, we should be expecting 4 day 1 contributors. They don't have to be starters. I'd say 2 of those need to be starters, and the other 2, they have to be contributors. So unless you can package 103 to move up a couple spots, just sit back and then just try your damnedest to get 2 more starters. I'm sorry, that is premium draft capital. That's not like a compensation pick at the end of the 3rd. So I'd have to respectfully disagree with Mike T.
This was the full take. We'll play it just so we give full context. Again, what he said about the Jets dream draft even before we get to the trade up bother me, but I'll get to that in a second. Here's the full Tannenbaum comment I referenced for context.
For the league are hearing the same thing. Basically, the message I keep getting is teams say, yeah, I think someone will take him in the first round. Not going to be us,
right?
But we think someone's going to take him. And that's kind of what the conversation around Shedeur Sanders was
by this
last
point,
year.
or by the time the draft rolled around. Yes, absolutely.
No one is suggesting that Ty Simpson is going to fall to the 5th round, but perhaps fall out of round 1. Mike T, you're a general manager. Tell me what you think the likeliest scenario is.
Yeah, I have a dream scenario for you and your Jet fandom. So Jets take a pass rusher, let's say at 16, let's say they take a corner or receiver.
Yeah.
If you go back to what the New York Giants did last year, they traded up from the top of the 2nd round into the bottom of the 1st at 25. If the Jets ran a similar play and let's say took 33 and 44, their 2 second-round picks, Greeny, and let's say went to Chicago at 25 and took Ty Simpson, who can now sit for a year behind Geno Smith. Now you have 5 years. You have that critical 5th-year option. One of the concerns about Ty Simpson, Greeny, is he only played 15 games. So imagine if you're the New York Jets and you get a pass rusher, let's say a corner, Ty Simpson, and now you still have 3 first-round picks next year. I think that's a dream scenario for Ty Simpson, who could sit at the New York Jets.
Yeah, it is not a dream scenario to take a corner at 16 in the first spot and then to go out there and trade 33 and 44. It's just an egregious overpay the Jets don't have to do. If they like Ty that much, you use the 16th overall pick on the guy, and then you keep 33 and 44 and you call it a day. Like the fact that Tannenbaum thinks that's a dream scenario for Jet fans is mind-boggling. Did we lose Omari? Call back in. We were doing so well on the phone. Hit the StreamYard reset, and we'll bring Omari back on. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Gator says that they like Ty that much, then the trade-up is worth it, but only if we gain maybe a third. Yeah, I mean, like, let's use what the Giants did last year as an example. They traded back into the end of round 1. I think it was pick 25 for Dart. They traded their 3rd round pick in last year's draft and their 3rd this year. So 2/3. Jets don't have a 3rd this year. So let's say, the Jets trade their 4th, which is 103. And let's say they then trade their 3rd next year. All right. I can live with that. If they want to make sure they get their guy, I can live with that. And you still have 33. Then you still have 44. Honestly, I think 44 might be enough. 44 and a 4th might be enough to get back into the end of round 1. I don't know if you got to trade 33. I'm not convinced. The Giants last year, they used 2/3. They did trade 34. So I guess 33, you could argue, might have to be in there. Depends where, though. Like, to me, there's a difference of making a trade from 33 all the way up to 25 versus maybe you just move up 1 spot to pick 32. Remember the Ravens did that with Lamar so they can get the 5th-year option on him? Like, I'd have to pull up the point value chart, but maybe there's a way you could pull this off with 44, one of your 4s, a 3rd next year, and you move up 1 spot from 33 to 44. You keep 33 in the scenario. There's got to be a way to do it. But again, I don't think the Jets are going to do this. I'd be a little surprised. Either way, I think we all could agree there's no way it's going to take both their 2nd-round picks to get to 25. That's an egregious overpay by any point value chart you want to look at. Omari back with us. You agree with me, Omari?
Yeah, I agree with you. I couldn't listen to that, but I think my brain shut off once you said, Mike said we got to send both seconds. Like, and again, respectfully to Mike T, he's been in the business, he's done it, but that doesn't even work from any value chart.
No, it's just such a.
Yeah,
what do you think of him saying a corner though at 16? Like pass rusher at 2, great. I think we all agree that's probably where they're going. Like unless Mansour Delane is there at 16, like
Exactly.
What corner am I taking after? I just traded away Sauce and I only have this Colts pick in the first place because of that deal.
Yeah, and I'm just not trying to have history repeat itself. Like we did the same thing when we traded away the best cornerback in football, only to get a lesser hurt version of that in D. Milner. I'm okay. Aaron Glenn was a defensive back. He can coach up defense. He's making a handsome amount of money to be a coach. Let him coach up a 4th-round cornerback. Let him coach up a Takario Davis or Ephesians Prysock or or somebody later in the rounds with high measurables, and they can coach them up. No, I want guys that are going to compete, and I want some offensive weapons. This is an offensive-driven league. Let's draft some offensive weapons. And I think Mansour Delane probably goes top 10. To be honest, I don't think he gets past I don't
Dallas.
think exactly. I don't think he gets past Dallas. And then do we really want a Jamad McCoy running around on the MetLife turf off a
Isn't it
repaired ACL?
You're not wrong, Omari, but isn't it ridiculous that part of our evaluation of some of the fit of these prospects with the Jets is that, the MetLife turf? Like, part of my reason I'm worried about drafting Jordan Tyson at 16 is, here's a guy that dealt with injuries in college. Welcome to MetLife. Like, it's ridiculous that two franchises sharing a stadium. Don't get me started on the stadium itself, but the fact that the turf is a real issue and we got to factor that into the evaluation is asinine.
The fact that the fact that they spent $1 billion and it looks like a big air conditioner is an issue. So I don't even understand. And then we don't even have to get to the turf. It's known league wide that the MetLife turf is just absolutely atrocious. And the fact that it hasn't been fixed now is a borderline embarrassment, if you ask me.
I've been complaining about this for years. I mean, the fact that the stadium's, I call it the world's biggest air conditioning unit, but like the turf has been a problem for years, and it's on both the Johnson family and the Maris for that. They share the stadium, and like you see other stadiums around the league able to get grass, no problem. The stadium in where they played the game in Spain this year actually has technology where they roll in grass and they could roll it down. They have like a practice grass and an actual playing. Like, there's technology exists for them to be able to do this. They're putting it in for the World Cup. It's such a joke.
It absolutely is. And I was going to say that as well, too. If they can do that over in Saudi Arabia, and I believe the stadium we talk about is where Real Madrid plays, I don't understand why we can't have that here. It's $2 billion entities can't come together and fix the actual playing surface for their $1 billion product. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it, but we have to take that into account when we do our evaluations. I mean, how many Achilles, how many knees? I mean, you look at Santonio Holmes with the Liz Frank. It's serious injuries too. Didn't Bosa blow out his knee 3 years ago or 2 years ago?
Yep, he did.
Yeah. So it's, I think it needs to be fixed.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ozzie Fuller's in the ASMANIAC raffle for one. Let's go.
Jets, Jets.
Speaking of Ty Simpson, Neil follows up and says, I'm not going to argue with anyone on the draft of a quarterback since we haven't picked one in 3 drafts. All we did in free agency was pick up defense, tired of scoring no points. Neil, but you can't manufacture just a franchise quarterback being there for the Jets. If they don't like Ty Simpson, they don't love him, you don't waste the 16th pick on him. You need to have conviction and have a plan for him. You don't factor that in. You're just like, just take a quarterback. These guys, their jobs are on the line. Aaron Glenn's trying to save it. If you want to score points, you can't argue with me that taking a receiver or the best available offensive line. Like, I agree they should go offense at 16. I've been saying it all offseason. But you can't just say just take a quarterback because they don't have one. Geno Smith, to maximize what he could do at this stage of his career, they're better off going receiver unless they're absolutely convinced Ty Simpson's their guy.
Yeah, that's the way I'm feeling too. And he's right. This is an offensive league, and Jake and I have been saying the same thing. But again, it doesn't have to be quarterback. We can take a swing later at 103 or 140 with a project quarterback that Frank Reich and Seth Ryan can work with, and Bill Musgrave. I think that we need to be surrounding the pieces and the other components of this offense. So when we do drop a franchise, hopefully a franchise QB that's young, that he can hit the ground running, So I think that he's right. But I think the way to do that is to add those weapons first and then drop the QB in there, just because we tried to do the QB and then build around it, and we failed miserably twice. Well, more than twice, but we failed at that. So he's right.
Yep. Doc Jet fan with a super chat here. Anyone consider it a bit odd that 3 major draft prognosticators all shifted to Bailey off of Reese within 24 hours? Jets PR smokescreen. It could be, or maybe they're actually hearing it. I mean, things change so much this time of year, so who knows? Could it be boredom? Is that a possibility? Like, we know Mendoza's going 1. Reese is still the betting favorite to go 2 by a wide margin. Is it just like, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's give our mock some juice. Jet fans react to everything online. Like, look at all the shows that have done content off of the comments that Schrager and Jeremiah made 2 days ago.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be a smokescreen because, Jake, we also heard that the Cowboys are trying to move up to 3 to get David Bailey. So maybe this is Darren Moody saying, like, hey, he feels the way a lot of draft experts are saying, like, once you get out of the top 4 or top 3, and sometimes even, after 3, a lot of these guys are bunched together. So if the Cowboys want to come up, we did good business with them a couple months ago. Maybe if they want to send us 12 and 20, or maybe 12 and that other first rounder in 2027, we can move down to 12 and still get a really good player. So I think that a lot of that, or maybe David Bailey's agent is just, really earning his commission and trying to get his guy into the narrative here. So it's smokescreen. There's a lot of stuff, guys, and what with this draft, I think that the consensus and the public perception is going to clash a lot this year. I think there's going to be some players that people are lower on or thought that they're going to be second round picks that end up being in the first round, and vice versa. A lot of first rounders that people were pegging to be top 20 guys, they're going to fall towards the wayside as well too. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. Make sure if you're in Pittsburgh, make sure you're at the ASMANIAC party.
That's right. Or if you're around the New York area, uSTADIUM's throwing a great event as well. Neil checks in. He says if we take a flyer and a much less rated QB and we get a top 4 QB next year who has to sit in 27, we won't be a playoff team until 2028. If that third or fourth quarterback next year is a bust, it's see you in 2030. Neil, I mean, but we've seen rookie quarterbacks come into the league and play well and make the playoffs. Again, if your coach is terrible, it's not going to matter anyway. Wouldn't you rather get a better idea if Aaron Glenn's going to be here or not before you invest a major premium asset, the 16th pick, on a quarterback? Like, again, if he shows competency, then all of a sudden you got 3 first-round picks to draft the quarterback and surround that quarterback with more players. You have the most cap space in the NFL a year from now. They're going to infuse, let's say it's 4 picks in the top 44 for now into the roster. Like, you could see the Jets being in a pretty good spot for a rookie quarterback a year from now. They're not in a terrible spot right now for one, but I don't know if there's one worth taking at 16. If they think it's Ty Simpson, okay, but it can't just be, well, if it doesn't work, we'll try again next year. They're not going to think of it that way. They might not be here next year to do that.
Yeah, I think that they're going to try to do both. And I know that this might seem like a cop-out answer to some of the listeners out there, but they're going to try to do both. They're going to try to win now and then also develop a QB. So that's why I think Ty actually does make sense at 33. We did a Jets community mock 2 weeks ago. We took Ty Simpson at 33 because at that point, it's just too good of a value. Like QB is probably the most force multiplier position in all of sports. I think that we could probably agree on that. If you have a good QB, it raises the floor and the ceiling of your team exponentially. So if you can hit on him at 33, I think that's a good move. But I think what they're going to try to do is steady the ship, show that they're a competent regime with Geno, and the way you do that is to insulate and save Geno from himself as much as possible. So show up the offensive line, show up the weapons, draft your project, and even if Geno does do good, listen, let's live in a positive reality. I'm gonna get optimistic. I'm gonna get optimistic, Omari, on you guys right now. Let's say that Geno does. Let's say that Geno is, Seattle Geno, good Seattle Geno, and you bring it back. Glenn shows that his superpower is what we all think it is, and the Jets win anywhere from 7 to 9 games. They sneak up on some people earlier in the season. There's some injuries. They play Mahomes when he's out. They play the Chiefs when Mahomes is out and things like that. You still have a ton of ammo now. And then it's even better because Geno can be your QB next year. And then you can draft a guy and then you could sit him for 12 weeks as well too. So I think that what Jake is saying, it just gives you a ton of flexibility if you just kind of stay the course and don't overdraft a guy or talk yourself into a QB this year.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line, raffle at the end of the show for a Wayne Krebet sign helmet. Make sure you enter for your chance to win. Let's do some calls with Omari right now. Again, as Maniac Madness resumes this afternoon, Bobby Midnight versus Peg and Artie, our final round of 32 bout before we get Sweet 16 action underway. First up today is Big Man Victim. Big Man, lead it off.
What's up, Jake? How's it going? And what's up, Omari? So I made a couple comments earlier. How would you feel if we traded 33 to the Rams? The Rams are going all in, but the Rams I saw a couple months ago, they have interest in Ty. Do you think that we could trade that pick to the Rams for like a third or a fourth, and maybe like if it's a fourth, maybe a fourth and like a seventh?
Yeah, I would be interested in that. So you're talking about dropping from 33 to and getting a third?
Whatever. I don't know what pick they have. I think they have like 40. No, maybe not 40. I think it's like 50 something. Yeah, I'd be able to do that, but I would actually I would do my damnedest to try to get some 2027 capital. So I'd move back from 33 to, let's say, the mid to late 40s, get a third,
get a third and then try to get a 2027 second because you are moving up for a QB.
Well, we already have a lot of. I mean, we already have like a lot of capital in 2027. We have 3 first, second, and then what else?
Yeah.
And also, I don't want to trade the 3rd round picks. We keep throwing them away like they're butter.
Yeah.
It's like you need the thirds. You can get a lot of premium players in the 3rd round. I mean, Travis Kelce I think he was a 3rd rounder, right? Or was he second?
Yeah. I believe, I think it was a late second. But yeah, absolutely. I think that good teams are built from rounds 2 through 4. And I think the Jets need to stop treating that as just, the stepchild. Like that's why the teams weren't built properly.
Yeah. Another thing. I really, I'm looking at the board here, the prospects.
Yeah.
What's your ideal wide receiver pick? This is a question for Jake and you. For the Jets
at 16 or
16 or 33.
So at 16, I'm really looking towards one of those top 3 guys, and obviously it's the usual suspects: Mekhi Lemon, Carnell Tate, and Jordan Tyson. I like Lemon a lot too. Lemon is tough. He'd be a fan favorite. Wins in the slot. Super tough. He reminds me of Steve Smith, just his mentality. Steve Smith had way more straight line speed. Steve Smith was a 4.3 guy. Mekhi Lemon is more of a low 4.5. For me, it would be Carnell Tate. I just love Carnell Tate. I think he has the highest floor in this draft.
Yeah,
he's a route technician. And I think that we didn't even see the full arsenal of Carnell Tate because I don't think that Julian Sayin had the arm to reach him. So a lot of his deep plays, he is coming back to the ball. So that would be the perfect complement, but he's not going to be there. So that's my perfect. And then my realistic would be Jordan Tyson. And then Jordan Tyson and Casey Concepcion because of what I said earlier.
And another thing, we're talking about receivers.
Yes.
You guys have been talking about Keon Shadiq a little bit on the show.
Yes.
Is he more of a slot or is he going to be playing mostly tight end, do you think? What do you think the Jets would do for him? I think that I personally think that they shouldn't take him. I mean, if all the good receivers are gone by 16, I'm pretty sure Lemon will be there. But I wouldn't want to take him either way. If he somehow drops out of the 1st to the 2nd, maybe I take him with 33 or 44 if he falls that far. I don't think he'll fall that far though. So that's my thought on receiver and the whole quarterback thing. I don't want Ty. I really, really don't want him. I would much rather prefer Carson Beck, maybe in the 4th or 5th. My buddy's a big Miami fan, and I've been talking to him about it a little bit. He's like, nah, he's inconsistent. He's not as good. But I mean, Carson Beck in the 4th or 5th, or maybe Nussmeier or Taylor Green. Taylor Green's a big athletic guy. But
I agree with your day 3 picks. I have no problem with that, big man. If they used one of their day 3 picks on either of those guys, I'm really not going to flip out on any quarterback they want to take a chance on the 3rd day. Chances are it's not going to work. So if Frank Reich and Musgrave are on board with it, or Muji, who did play some quarterback in college, if that's what they determine, all right, I'll live with it. I just think they should draft someone at some point. They didn't take anyone last year. I think you take a chance on someone in day 3 this year.
Yeah, and actually, I think that he brought up some good names too. I just think Taylor Green is not good at quarterback currently. He is just a project.
He's like the ultimate projection.
He is the ultimate projection, dude. He looks like a Clydesdale. I saw him at the combine. He's 6'6", 240. So he's straight out of central casting from a prototypical standpoint. But honestly, Jake, I think I could absolutely see Carson Beck at 103. I think Drew Aller is going to go. I think the talent. The idea of Drew Aller is just going to be too alluring for another team. So I think Carson Beck and Garrett Nussmeier at 103 or 140 are realistic options, honestly.
Yeah, look, as far as Sadiq goes, because you brought him up, I liked him until Joe Blewett's film review yesterday. We did Kenyon Sadiq. He's not very high on him. I'd rather go with a receiver in that spot. I'd rather take the 4th receiver and then take Sadiq at 16. I didn't feel that way until yesterday. I was open to Kenyon Sadiq, but for those who didn't see it, Joe Blewett's film review and just his analysis, that has me preferring them just to go the conventional wide receiver path than take Sadiq. Because also, Frank Reich, I think might be an upgrade over Engstrand, but is Frank Reich an innovative offensive guy that's going to take advantage of creative 2 tight end sets with Mason Taylor? And so I just feel let's eliminate the projection of what Sadiq would have to do, and let's just take a solid wide receiver that we get right at 16.
Yeah, because as it stands right now, Kenyon Sadiq is going to be a traditional tight end. We're going to have to treat him. He's going to be like the move tight end.
He's
We're
a big
going to have
slot.
him in, yeah, he's a big slot. He's going to be doing a lot of mesh concepts and trying to move and match him up. And me personally, I'm with you. Frank Reich is going to have to prove a lot to us, and I just don't know if he has the variation and the creativity to do that out of 12 personnel. But if again, that's just way too much projection. And if you go with Arvell Reese and then Kenyon Sadiq, I think that's just going straight up projection, and you're just going all ceiling. But a name that I do want, maybe when you have Joe on next week, Sam Roush. So Frank Reich was at Stanford. Sam Roush, inline tight end, and Stanford. I mean that I think that they're under the radar tight end factory as well too. So I really like what Sam Roush did as well. And then at 44, let's do some Eli Stowers, Vanderbilt. If you really just want a weapon, we did really good with Dustin Keller, and he kind of fits that mold to me. He's a more athletic Dustin Keller, and I don't know if you saw the report. More teams are actually looking at Eli Stowers as a receiver more so than a tight end. So if you miss on the weapons at 16 and 33, give me Eli Stowers as a matchup nightmare, going up the seams and putting the stress on the middle of the defense.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Hit the like button. Omari Brown from uSTADIUM is with us. If you guys have a draft question, make sure you guys write it in. JD says Omari's good. Love Roush and Delp. There you go.
Shout out to JD.
Any other tight ends you like in this class, by the way, while we're on that topic?
Yes, I love Justin Joly from NC State, and he could probably be there in that. Man, I want to say late third. And again, everybody's projections are just so over the board. I like who else? I like Michael Trigg, tight end out of Baylor. I like Tanner Koziol, 6'7" basketball player, huge catch radius out of Houston, University of Houston. Oscar Delp, he's a tremendous blocker, superior athlete, and I think that he's going to be one of those guys that's underutilized. That for some reason, I don't know why they didn't just spam him with targets the way they did Brock Bowers. His movement capability is really good. I mean, I would, without jumping out the window, man, if you could move back and get into the 50s or 60s, Oscar Delp, I think, would be a great compliment and tight end to Mason Taylor. He can be more that move guy, and he blocks too. He's a willing blocker. A lot of these guys blocking is an afterthought. It's at the front of Oscar Delp's mind. And you look at the RAS scores, and again, there's going to be some projection as well as that too. But if you can move down into the 55 to like 70 range, I'd sign up for Oscar Delp all day. So those are the guys that I would look at from the tight end position.
More of your calls right now. We do have open phone lines. No one's currently on the line besides one. So if you wanted to call in and get your draft point across or talk anything NFL Jets related, now's certainly the time. Let's hit it. Beast, how are you feeling on hump day? Really? You don't say. Really good insight. Thanks. Beast always locked into what's happening, clearly. Neil says, if Ty plays just 4 or 5 games and wins 2, he'll be considered a win like Dart did with the Giants did last year. Harbaugh would not be the Giants coach without Dart. He would need to play more than 4 or 5 games, though, Neil. No NFL head coach is like, all right, he played 4 or 5 games. He won 2 of them. So now he's like, you got to see more Dart. Dart in losses played well. Like there were signs that he was going to be a good quarterback in some of the losses. It wasn't just a couple of games that he won. Part of the reason I'm against taking Ty is because if you take him at 16, how many games does he actually get in there and play? I think it muddies the whole projection of you're trying to evaluate him, and then you have 3 first-round picks, and there's going to be a better quarterback class a year from now.
Yeah. I just think, and then Ty didn't even. Ty looked great. If Ty didn't play after week 5 or 6, Ty would probably be the 2nd overall pick. I just don't think that's enough time to truly evaluate a quarterback, because that's only a quarter of the season, and we already know, after the NFL collects data and collects film on you and tendencies, it's a completely different game. So I think that he would have to show a little bit more than just winning 2 out of 4 games. Because listen, we've seen the Jets win meaningless games at the end of the year. What if he's playing? The Jets are 2-11, and he's playing, and towards the end of the year, and people have already sent their cars home and in their storage lockers, and nobody's really playing hard. So you want to create a whole draft strategy and and build a team around a guy that was playing against, people that really weren't trying hard. So I wouldn't get into that game, that business.
Vegas Nick says, I hate the gap between 44 and 103. We need to maneuver to get back into the third round. I agree. And that's why I think if you're going to try and trade out and get extra picks, you do it at 33 and you acquire a third while moving down.
Yeah, I'm with you as well, too. And if let's say that, your favorite receivers are gone. Let's say Vega's gone. Let's say, again, I'd move back from 16. Hopefully there's somebody there. Even just trading back one spot or just dropping back to the 20s, because I think that you'd still be able to get a pretty good wide receiver that would make you feel good about him, taking him in the 20s versus us taking him in the mid-teens. I would do that as well, too. I think that it's going to drive us crazy, Jake, watching 60 really good football players go off the board if we don't feel, happy or secure with our first guy. So I agree with you. And hopefully going forward, Darren Moody treats, third round picks as valuable as they can be.
Mark checks in. He says, what round do you think David Bell's getting drafted? I'd love him in the 4th if he's available. I believe he took a top 30 visit with the Jets yesterday that got reported, right?
Chris Bell, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay, Chris Bell. I think he means Chris Bell.
There's two. There's Skylar Bell from UConn, and then there's Chris Bell from Louisville. Bell.
So Chris Bell did take a 30 visit with him. I would, if I haven't taken a receiver, I'm going to take Chris Bell 44th. Again, I have a little bit of concerns if he's going to be able to separate regularly from the outside, and he would be our X here. If he might end up being a big slot because I think the route tree is severely limited. So yes, Chris Bell. Yeah, we got you, Mark. So I think that he looks like Anquan Bolden with more juice if he's running drags, a mesh route and quick slants. When you broaden out that route tree, that's when it gets a little shaky in there with Chris Bell, and he's coming off of an injury. And, not to diminish that, I hope that he's healthy, but I just want healthy guys, and like, I know I said that I'm talking out of both sides because Jordan Tyson has the hamstring stuff, but that's a soft tissue injury. It's not even a year since his ACL, and I'm good on that with the top 50 pick, but I do like the player though.
Neil freaking out says, why are we bleeping on Simpson before his injury last year and all the other injuries on Bama on offense? And we now think at best he's a day 2 quarterback. Shake my effing head. Neil, I don't think anyone is shitting on Simpson. I think we're just logically talking about a quarterback that does enough really good things to make him intriguing, a borderline first-round player. The reason why he's not is he doesn't have your prototypical, like, elite athletic size at that position. He's not Fernando Mendoza. He's 6'5", 250 pounds, right? He's a little smaller, 6'1". He played through an injury. That's part of the evaluation because we only have 15 games of a sample size to base that off of. And this is the biggest reason why he might not go in round 1, the lack of total starts. And over the last 25 years, him being really good would be an outlier. Now, you evaluate every prospect individually, but historical data does come into play. NFL GMs need to weigh all this, which is why I like Ty. I don't love him, but I'm okay with taking a swing in round 2. I would not do it at 16. I don't think it's dumping all over Simpson. If I thought he was terrible, I would say just don't take him at all. I just don't think his value is the 16th overall pick in this draft.
Yeah. And another thing, and Neil, we always preface it that we like Ty the player. A lot of it just goes into exactly what Drake said, and us not believing in the infrastructure and the environment here is going to be conducive to him to succeed here. And just because that we don't like a player for our team doesn't mean that we don't like a player. And I think that a lot of that is getting lost in the debate when we talk about which edge rusher we want at 2. It's just about preference. It's not that we actually dislike either players. We think that Ty is good. We just don't think that he warrants the 16th overall pick. Now, if Sean Payton was our coach, we had this discussion yesterday. If Sean Payton was the coach of the New York Jets, wouldn't you feel much more confident with Ty Simpson coming here with the 16th pick? Oh, okay.
If you wanted Ty Simpson, you say, you're Sean Payton. You have a history of knowing exactly what you want in a quarterback. He did it with Bo Nix.
Exactly. So we don't, this is not a personal, listen, Jake spoke to Ty at the combine. We just talk about Ty as the potential New York Jets QB with this current iteration of the coaching staff and regime. We just don't think it's a good marriage. And at the end of the day, Jake and I are fans. So if they do pick him, we're going to support Ty Simpson. Yeah. Absolutely. So
I want them to take him at 33. I'm totally fine with that. Like, I'd be on board. I would understand. I just don't want him at 16. There's a big difference in everything that comes with taking a quarterback at 16 and versus doing it at 33.
Absolutely. I think you take a quarterback at 16, then you have to succumb to fan pressure, to owner pressure, and we don't even have to get into that. And we already know what that looks like. And I'm just tired of setting young quarterbacks up for failure.
I think that's well said. Omari, you are the absolute man. I'm glad that we figured out, I guess, the cell phone was the way to make this work today.
Listen, man. Listen, thanks for rocking with me, guys. Thanks, ASMANIACs. This was good. And guys, dog days, we're almost there. We'll hold on. Don't let go. That's right.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, Omari Brown from uSTADIUM is our guest. We're presented by my friends at ZipRecruiter. Draft season is here. The Jets are trying to find talent. Maybe you're someone whose job is to find talent. All hiring managers out there, listen up. You need to use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is basically your front office, except it actually works. Their smart matching technology finds qualified candidates that fit what you're looking for. You could even add screening questions so you're not wasting time interviewing someone who would have been cut before training camp. No reaches, no busts, just the right picks for your team. That's ZipRecruiter. Score the best for your team with ZipRecruiter. You could try it right now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. How about this? 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter, they get a quality candidate that fits what they're looking for within the first day. Again, it's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Hope everyone's having a great Wednesday morning so far. We have a Wayne Corbett signed helmet up for grabs at the end of the show in honor of Super Bowl 68. Our Raffle 68 grand prize on Saturday is a signed Joe Namath helmet, signed Darrelle Revis helmet, signed Braylon Allen jersey, and a signed Anthony Becht jersey. So those are the 4 items that we have. Make sure you RSVP to our draft party if you have not done so already. Here's what I want to do. I want to hit a quick break, and when we come back, we get to your calls, give people some time to load up their calls, have the takes they need. We are back right after this. Hit it.
You got that right, bud. Hey, let me call you right back. I'm going to take care of something, all right? I'll call you back. You pissed me off really bad. Yeah, I'm a hothead. Yeah, I'm a hothead, all right. Yeah, I'm a hothead. I'm a hothead. I'm not hungry. I'm very pissed off. Very pissed off. Sick shit. That got me pissed. It got me pissed. Pissed. Old school video gaming and video games and music. He talked to me yesterday. And I represent the 80s. I represent the 80s. The 80s. I represent the 80s. I represent the 80s. Men were men. Men were men. Men were men with honor, not a punch code. We're men with men with honor. Not a punchline. Not a punchline. Perfect example. And he likes when I do the clay, when I do the dice, man. It gets me happier. It gets me happier. And in a happy mood. And in a happier mood. It gets me happier and in a happy mood. I like Sam Kiss. I've known him since I was 8. No, 8. I've known him since I was 8. These are my guys I look up. These are my guys I look up to. My guys I look up to. I only want to do the raffle. That's all I want. That's all. She's special. That hurts. That hurts. Oh, me a racist. I found that disturbing. It got me mad. I'm no racist. Judge Johnny's a loser anyways. Hey, he's a loser. Yes, I do. Special. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's a slow process. Like a raging bullet. Like a raging bullet. Well, see. I want to let you know. I only want to do the raffle. I only want to do the raffle. Is there a way to turn it off? Kick his ass. And I mean, I will kick. I don't want. I find it disgusting. No, it's disgusting. Yes, I'm a Donald Trump person. I'm a Donald Trump guy. You know that. No, I'm not. My mom raised me hard. He better watch himself. I would beat his ass so bad he won't get up. He better watch himself, because I would beat his ass so bad he won't get up. Fruitcake, not with a fruitcake. A fruitcake. I love Amanda a little more. She's special and honest. Harley, out of touch. Too slow. Not up to par. Plus, I think she's a cheer. I think, and that's no bullshit. That's facts. All right, kid. Let's get you smashed. Are you ready for some food? Too much info. Keep it in your pants. Keep it in your pants.
And we're back. All right, let's hit some calls, shall we? A lot of you want in on the conversation. Australia Jet fan starts it off. Hello, AJF.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, Jake, what you think about adjusted breakout age when it comes to measuring receiver success.
Their age?
Well, like
how old they are?
Well, sort of like what age they sort of break out in at college and how it relates to normally if they're successful in the league or not.
That's a good question. I don't know in college how that translates. I mean, typically in the NFL, by year 3, you kind of have a pretty good idea of the receiver you're working with.
Because like most of the time, college receivers, the ones that break out at a younger age, normally go on to have more success in the NFL. Because when they break out, when they're older, like normally it's because they're relying more on physicality. With like sort of Omar Cooper, that's one thing that sort of pushed me away from him, is that he doesn't have the same. He sort of didn't hit his strides as early as a guy like sort of Jordan Tyson. So I was just wondering what your opinion was on that.
I mean, I like him. He redshirted his freshman year, and then he played 9 games in 2023, 2 starts, played all 13 games with 4 starts in 2024, and then this year was his best year. I mean, I think he's a good player. Is he worth the 16th pick? I mean, in this draft, he might be. And the Jets really need a receiver. So I'm okay taking him at 16. Do I prefer Mekhi Lemon or Carnell Tate? Yes. But I think Cooper's a productive player. He's got really good hands. He does a lot of things well. Like, I'm okay if they took him at 16. I would be. Where would you list him if you could pick out of any receiver in the draft? Like, where would you have him on your sort of depth chart? 3. I mean, I guess Tyson would be in front of him, but the medicals scare me, man. They do. Like, especially if we're going to take Reese at 2 and then you're taking a projection at 2. I think he's going to be very good, but there's some risk in that, clearly. And then there's a huge risk in Tyson at 16. Those are 2 big risks.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. I guess, with the receivers, it's sort of a risk you don't want to take, especially, with the Jets history, and I'm sick. I don't want to have to watch another season where, Garrett's injured and we're throwing the ball to people who are going to end up working at McDonald's. But besides that,
everyone is going crazy over your location. You look like you're a hostage.
I'm just in my bedroom. It's like, it's the middle of the night. I don't know what are people expecting? Sunshines and rainbows?
I don't know. I think people just were concerned about your whereabouts.
I mean, I can turn the light on if I want.
There you go. Welcome to civilization.
And also,
Lumpy says you look like a caveman, the Geico caveman. You guys have Geico ads in Australia?
No, we don't. But I know what Geico is because I mean just from watching NBA, because the Wizards were sponsored by Geico for a bit. I don't know if they still are. But yeah, so I'm familiar. I don't know what the caveman looks like. I only know the gecko.
Well, you know more than I think most people would expect in this situation.
But anyway, what I was going to say was that if I somehow beat the big fella in Asmaniac Madness, I think my next challenge would have to be feeding a kangaroo in my 69 Jets jersey and the helmet. I think that would be my next challenge.
Feeding a kangaroo in a Jets helmet. If you pull that off, I mean, that would be incredible. I feel like that should be your move now, should it not be?
I mean, yeah, it might be, but I don't know. Maybe if I say I'll do it after, like I need to give people a reason to vote for me. Like if I do it after, then they're gonna have a reason to vote for me because if they don't vote for me, I won't do it.
What if you do it? What if you do it during your matchup as a reason to win?
I mean, I could try, but I feel like most people sort of just vote as soon as the poll goes up.
Some people wait.
I'll definitely have to think about it. And I'll have to plan it as well because I don't know how easy it's going to be to feed a kangaroo.
You're not well versed in kangaroo feeding?
Well, it depends if I go into the wild or if I go to like a sanctuary or somewhere where they're more tame.
Have you ever spanked a kangaroo? That's from MD to Lizzie.
No. And if I had tried, I don't think I'd be alive. Those things like pack a mean kick. They can kill you with a kick.
Let's review what you sent me while I have you on the line here. So I haven't watched this yet, but it looks like it's you going to McDonald's with your Jet gear on. Is this correct?
Yeah.
All right, let's break this down together here.
I always follow through. Let's go. We're in the car and we are on our way. We have arrived. It's a very warm day here in Australia. It was a nice day. I was being absolutely stared at the whole time. Now we gotta pay. Have everyone know. $1.45. Cheers.
Thanks, man. $1.45.
Now, did anyone say anything to you at this point? Hey, why is this guy wearing a helmet? Football helmet?
No.
Okay.
I was mostly just getting dirty looks the whole time.
Okay.
I had to go get a straw.
Also, what was your order?
I got a large quarter pounder meal.
Okay.
Yeah, no, under's definitely the way to go. Australian beef is so good.
It is. It's the best.
What makes Australian beef so good?
It just tastes better. When I was living overseas, all I wanted was Australian meat.
Is that a Jason Fabini jersey?
No, it's not. It's a custom jersey.
Let me hold on. We'll get to the rest of this. Let me bring on my McDonald's expert to weigh in. Beast, what do you think?
McDonald's is bottom of the barrel. You want top three? Cheesecake Factory, rule number 1, greatest place of all time. Number 2, Red Robin. And third, Five Guys. And don't forget, number 4, Peter Luger's, baby. A man's burger is a man's burger.
That's not fast food, Peter Luger's. It's a steakhouse.
So? Gary is a cheater, and he's a disgrace to this country. I think somebody should throw him in Iran and let him be the yeah, that's right.
All right, back to the McDonald's review here. No sauce for the fries?
No. I don't like almost every other fries I'll eat with sauce, but not really McDonald's.
Also, yes, this is a large in Australia.
That's a large?
Yeah.
It's like our small in the US.
Yeah, I know. I actually was sick, lucky. I didn't know it yet though.
J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets.
He's a man of his word, folks. He said if he won his last matchup, he'd go to McDonald's in full Jets gear, and he has proven to do exactly that. Here we go. Sweet 16 coming up next week. You and the big fella, do you think you got a chance as an 11 seed to knock off the 2 seed in the Dangerous Alliance region?
Honestly, I mean, there's always a chance, but I think my chances are very slim. Like, because I don't know anyone that sort of dislikes the big fella. I know, again, a lot of votes against Mad Max because of people that don't like Mad Max, but I think the big fella is just like way too likable for anyone to hate vote against him.
Yeah, look, this is going to be a tough one, but you got to believe. You got to go out there, put your best foot forward, and try and capture the dream.
I've made it this far. I haven't given up. But one funny thing that did happen is when I was driving to McDonald's, I got a call from my dad on the way there, and he drove past me on the way, and I didn't realize. And he got a call. He calls me, right, and I pick up the phone, and he's like, "What are you doing driving off in my Jets helmet?" And I was just like, I said, "Okay, basically, I won a competition." And I'm like, I'll explain it all when I get home. And yeah, I still don't think he understands, but I did my best trying to explain to him what actually happened.
Well, you did a great job, JF. All right, keep doing your thing. All right, hopefully you got something big for big fella.
I will, and that'll be my next challenge: feeding a kangaroo. You heard it here first.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Australian Jet fan with us. Let's say hello to a man we call Mad Max.
What's up, Asmaniacs? Can you guys hear me?
Oh, we hear you, Max.
Oh, man. Let's talk about the draft. So everybody's pontificating the draft. Oh, should we draft Ty Simpson? This is a quarterback prospect that no one is talking about that I think the Jets should draft in the late rounds as a backup. We should draft Diego Pavia instead of Ty Simpson in the late rounds. Seriously. He has a strong arm. He's good. He has fight. He's a proven winner, Jake. We should draft him instead of Ty Simpson. Everyone's going to pontificate. Oh, should we draft Ty Simpson? Look, I think there's a lot of good qualities of Ty Simpson, but my big con of him is he started 15 games in college. When was the last time a quarterback that started 15 or fewer games was even good in the NFL? Jake, give me the last time a quarterback is actually good that started 15 or less games, Jake.
So, say you're tick again. I want to make sure you're not on drugs.
The Jets, I think everyone's pontificating taking Ty Simpson. But what
you think the Jets should take Diego Pavia? You said that with a straight face. This is a genuine take of yours.
This is a genuine take, Jake. I'm actually watching highlights of him. He's better. I mean, the only reason people just knock him because he's 5'9". If he wasn't, I have a question for you. Would you rather take Ty Simpson or Diego Pavia? If he wasn't 5'9", would you take Diego Pavia? Would you? If he didn't measure 5'9" at the combine, if he was like 6'5", would you take Pavia?
If my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle, Max. Your thoughts?
I mean, that's how the worst take of all time. But Neil, did you even watch Diego Pavia highlights? I mean, look, he has a strong arm, proven winner. He's very good in the RPO, very accurate quarterback. Just because he's 5'9", look, there are good examples of quarterbacks that are below 6 foot. Kyler Murray, 2019.
Where do you want them to take Pavia? You're saying they should take him at 16?
No, I think we should take him. I'm saying we should take him in the late rounds, like round 6 or round 7. That's where I would take Pavia.
He's not going to get drafted, I don't believe.
But still, he's projected in the late rounds, Jake. I was looking at his scouting profile. He's projected late rounds.
He's 5'9" and 3/4, Max. I've met you in person. You're taller than him.
I mean, Jake, I have a question for you. So let's say we take Pavia as undrafted. Would you be happy that the Jets draft? If we take him as an undrafted, say if he goes undrafted and the Jets sign him, would you be happy that the Jets signed him?
Not really. I'd be like, why? What's the point?
I mean, he can provide good energy. Could be a good backup. You know, he could show some upside. Good developmental project, Jake.
Yeah, I don't know. If they take him, I mean, will he make the fourth quarter of the final preseason game more intriguing? Maybe, but he's not making the team.
I mean, we should give him a chance, Jake. You know, I mean, let's see.
What have we done?
Diego Bobby is going to prove someone wrong.
What have we done? And we say we did.
I mean, imagine if another team drafts Pavia, gives him a chance, and then we'll be proven wrong. He's that good. He has a strong arm. He's 5'9". If you turn around Jake, he's a proven winner at Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt was like the shittiest program in college football before Pavia took over. If you can win at Pavia, you can win if you can win at Vanderbilt, you can win with the Jets. That's just my perspective on Jake.
Max, are you sober?
I am sober. I watched his highlights. I'll send you his highlights, Jake.
Please don't.
If Mad Max ain't yapping about Jets, that boy, he's jamming. He's slamming, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
I'm good with not taking Diego Pavia with any pick. Please. Super Chats cut the line. Banku is in the raffle for 2. You guys did too much. Know it all. Talk about Reese, and you're wrong. Yes. Who's you guys? Don't you guys me. I bring on people that are very passionate about Bailey. Frankie V loves David Bailey. He comes on every week. I just did an interview with Leger Douzable that dropped on the channel. He thinks the Jets should go Bailey. I have said I like both players. I'm okay with either one. I don't feel as strongly about Reese as Sabo does, and I don't feel as strongly against Reese as Frankie does. I'm kind of very much in the middle. I don't pretend to be a draft expert or a scout. So don't you guys. We bring on all people to this show with different opinions. That's why the show works, and it's why we have almost 45,000 subscribers. Don't tell me that Reese is a tweener, though. I think you're wrong on that. And I won't be mad if they take Bailey. You could say he's the right one, but there's plenty of people who think Reese is the better pick. I'm okay with either. I would prefer Reese, though, if I had to, pick a player. There was a question about Jeremiah Love that I meant to bookmark. From Jay Luby. Jake, why shouldn't the Jets take Love with the number 2 pick in the draft? He's more than just a running back slot wideout. I don't believe in taking a running back at 2, Jay Luby. I think the Jets have a good running back in Breece Hall. He's going to be on the team this year, and I want to turn the number 2 pick into a different player at a more premium position. He's really good, Jeremiah Love. But how many teams take a running back that high and they actually win with that player? It just doesn't happen. So I'm good on that. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lump Man has gifted 5 channel memberships to enter the Wayne Corbett helmet raffle. That's coming your way at the end of the show. Give it up for the Lump Man.
My name is Lumpy, not Lumpy. I'm not De Niro. Just call me Lumpy. I had a mullet the last time the Jets were winners. Don't call me Lumpy, 'cause I'm friggin' Lumpy.
Lumpy in the raffle for 5. Here's who got a membership from the Lump Man. Bomb Bagman, CH4, Miguel Blanco, Lexi Lima, Props 7179, all receiving a membership there from the Lump Man. Let me give some love to another Asmaniac who just entered the raffle. I received a Venmo just now from Phil DeAngelo, who wrote for some hype for Pavia. Did you mean hype or height? Either way, he needs it. Phil, appreciate your support, man. Venmo is an acceptable way to enter the raffle for those who can't super chat or can't gift. You're in for 4. Let's get to a couple of the final calls here. Last chance to get in. If you want in on today's show, we say hello to a man who's very cool.
At Adam is cool. Although kind of basic, he claims he's too cool. Though often quite basic, he makes great jet points. Looks a little basic. Adam is cool, too cool, but basic. Some would say generic.
Hey Jake, tired of the draft yet?
Oh man, can we sim to if whatever it is, right? It's 15 days from right now.
I will say I do miss last year, like when you were doing like mock drafts with Cole. I kind of like that, just doing like a live one every Friday.
I'll do one.
Do that?
I don't know. I feel like so many other channels do that. In full transparency, when we would do that over the last couple of years, the view count on those compared to other episodes were lower. So I was like, I feel like it's a very specific audience that likes that stuff. So I will definitely do at least one or two. I've kind of been saving that towards like when we really got nothing left to talk about, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you could even, I mean, you already have enough ASMANIAC programming, but like you could even have like, we have enough ASMANIACs now that could represent a team and do like ASMANIAC mock with people playing different teams' roles. But maybe for another year, but this is cool. So anyway, scraping to the bottom of the barrel of questions. Here we go. Is there a situation where, we have 3 first rounders in 27? Is there a situation where there's just some player that like unexpectedly drops? And the question would be, would you be willing to trade down from your worst first rounder in 27 into the second round of 27 and use that as a trade up pick to get somebody in the first round that just unusually made it to like the high 20s that you want to grab?
So you're saying trade one of the first round picks in 2027, but have the stipulation that it's the worst of the 3 to move up in this year's draft?
Yeah, and get a second in return. So it's like a trade down in next year's draft.
I mean, I guess I'm open to that because you said we're getting a second back, but why would another team want to do that?
Someone that wants a first rounder for next year that doesn't have one, or someone that would value even a late round first in the most loaded draft yet.
Yeah, but Adam, you're devaluing that pick when they're also including a second rounder.
Well, it's a trade. It's just another. It's like the equivalent of a second rounder, but it's a situation where
but you don't know where that pick is yet, though. So you could say it's the worst of the 3, but like, what team is going to roll the dice without having some sort of idea on where that pick is going to be?
It'll likely be second half of the first round in the greatest draft ever in 27. So it's just, again, this is a bottom of the barrel scrape pick.
I think it's too complicated. I don't think that's.
I know. I'm sorry. I usually have better questions than this, but I would just say I love the biggest smoke screen of the draft is that we have any interest in Ty Simpson. I think it's absolutely nuts to waste any time with a top, one of our first 4 picks of that draft to go with Ty, someone that's not going to play, someone that doesn't have the experience to play. And, we talk about the whole, starts. I'd like to see an example in the history of NFL where somebody like that had years to develop and then turned out to be okay, because the ones that did well started that year. So we're really like going 100, 1% of 1%. Does it ever actually work out? And if the answer is no, then why are we taking a first round, second round pick for an investment like that when we can literally do the same thing in day 3?
I just hope they get it right, dude. I'm out of
hang in there.
I'm out of patience for all the discourse and all the issues,
All right. Well, is there any player that you think is worth trading up into the first round for in this year's draft? Someone that you just think is really interesting, but is in that no man's land of, it's not a first round pick, but it could be a second round. I'm sorry, not a first half of the first round pick, but someone in the second half of the first round that you just think will drop there, and it's just in that donut hole where we wouldn't be able to get it.
Okay, if people don't want to take him because he's a safety, or they think there's some sort of like injury thing, like I think he's worth moving up for. I think one of the receivers is worth moving up for. Like if you want to, if Tate starts to slide somehow and you could go up and get him, I'm okay with that. Go and get your guy. You have the extra picks for a reason.
Yeah, I'm just glad that we have a really nice donut in general. We have 2 awesome picks in the first. We have 2 awesome picks in the second. And we could do something.
I think it's more likely they move out, though, Adam, than they move up. Because if they trade out of 33, you could get that third round pick. Like right now, the Jets, they have the 4 picks in the top 44, and then they don't pick again until the 4th round, which is like pick 104.
I mean, selfishly speaking, next year, like if we actually use all 3 firsts, I'll be
103
enthused. One of the 3, but like I would love to create like an OKC situation where we're just always having multiple first rounds in perpetuity. I mean, that's the dream.
Right, and that's part of the appeal. If you took Ty in the second round, he actually was good. All of a sudden, all these other teams, like you can make deals with them and get even more picks.
Yeah, well, anyway, sorry for spinning your wheels ever so more, but good hearing from you. Hang in there. And
Adam, I appreciate you, man. Good call. Adam is too cool checking in. I've noticed that the mock draft season discourse is really getting to Neil in the chat. He's fighting with everyone right now. So Oregon Jets wrote, and Jake is good wasting 33 or 44 on Ty. Ty has no chance of being a legit NFL starter, none. How could you say that? How could you just definitively say there's no chance? But okay, that's your opinion. But then Neil goes, Oregon, what makes you a QB expert? You live in Oregon. Go watch the Ducks. And then, Jay Quest has been giving Neil some crap in the chat. And Neil's going after Jay Quest. Who do you want, Jay Quest? Send it a super chat and tell everybody instead of criticizing everyone in the chat with your bullshit. Neil says, I'll bet anyone in the chat Simpson goes in round 1. Any takers? Neil, I'll make that bet with you. What should the bet be? Because I think it's probably closer to 50-50. He's a first-round pick. People were like, oh, he's definitely going to go in the first round. Where? Tell me the team. Cleveland at 26? Maybe Arizona trades back in? I don't think it's the Jets at 16. I don't think it's Miami at 11 or at 30. I don't think it's the Steelers at 21. Someone wrote in the chat the Texans. The Texans are not taking Ty Simpson. That'd be shocking. Neil says, Jay Quest, go make some more fake accounts to pick the next Asmaniacs. Neil's blaming Jay Quest for voter fraud. Wow. Let's see what else we have here. Ralphie says, I'll take Neil's side. Sham wrote in how much, Neil? Chuck Wagon says, I'll take the bet, but I want 3-1 odds. Mike says, AG isn't the guy, another year of shit. You're probably right about that, but we haven't gotten there yet. Dave Briggs says, Beast, I just drive through Wendy's and got a black coffee.
You know nothing. You know nothing.
Hey, buddy, pay attention.
Get pass away.
Why do you have to say out loud what you're typing?
Thinking skills. Use them.
Hey, Beast. When are we sending Gary to Iran?
Because he's a bum.
No, I said when.
Like the lady said from Scarface. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now. A bum. He should be bagging groceries, a cheapskate.
Hey, M123 says black coffee is for real men. Would you agree?
That's fine. That's fine. Who gives? Who cares? I don't care what the chat reads. I do my own. I got my own life. I'm high on life.
Bucky Ross says, hey, Jake, Iconical Wear pretends to be a former Jet scout. Let's talk about that. Bucky, you're confusing Iconical Wear. That's our pal Dirty for that guy, former Jets Daniel Kelly, the draft scout that never actually was a scout for the Jets. You're confusing the two. That guy's barred from my channel because he would spam the comment section. But you're confusing the two.
Hey, diddle diddle, play me the fiddle. I'm just playing a fiddle.
Neil writes in, Jay Quest, now, I didn't call you an ass. What were you this year with your fandom? How many times did you call in the last 12 months? You're a phony fan. Wow.
Good hit, Neil. That's a kick in the right in the schnozzle.
Jets Worldwide says 10:30 a.m. the optimum time for potato chips. Hey, what meal is that for you, Beast?
Hey, that's just a little snack action, but later on,
snack. It's 10:30 your time, 10:45.
A little spaghetti parmesan for the night, and you know what tonight is? Whose house? Swerve's house. Whose house? Swerve's house. Whose house? That's right, Swerve's house. That's right. You know what time it is.
Hey, Common Country wants to know if your doctor recommended Ozempic.
We'll see. We'll see about that. But don't remember, it's time. It's Swerve's time, baby. And get ready for Sunday because AEW's coming to pay-per-view. Get ready. Buckle up. Get a ticket. Get a seat. You're going to need it.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias, el señor. Now, sayonara.
The Jet fans getting a little crazy.
What a show this has been, huh? We've had a lot of craziness on the show. I mean, the Saturday show alone produced like 8 different clips, man. Like, I still can't get enough of the fact that the Dream sent Beast a very expensive replica bowling ball from one of the great movies of all time. And Beast was like, thanks, without even saying thanks.
Ty at 16 or 30? No, give me Beast. I want to talk to Beast.
Buenas tardes, there, El Drimo.
Let me see the ball.
My balls feel like they've been destroyed in pieces.
Beast, I've been waiting. Show me the ball.
I will get it's right there. Can you just I'm trying to get him cleaned up. Do I look like a retard to you or something?
Mm.
Oh. Can you hear me?
Man. It's not right that he's doing that shit. Beast, you gotta show him the gift that he got you, man.
Wow, look at this. Look at this.
There it is, man. That's an excellent gift. You say thank you? Beast, did you say thank you? That's a really awesome gift, bro. Don't salute, say thank you.
Thanks for the tip there, Mr. Dream. And Gary's a coward.
Okay.
Thank
all
you.
right, man.
That's all I wanted.
Unbelievable. What a gesture. An unbelievable gesture.
I caught a little bed bite. I got something to get rid of them. A little spray and a little bit of salt.
You got a bed bug bite?
Yeah, in the leg, but I'm not gonna worry.
Do you have bed bugs?
No, I keep my floors. My floors are always fresh, and I also do a little.
What about your bed though? Are there bed bugs on your bed?
No, I checked it yesterday.
Those can be very problematic.
Beast, you said you're using salt to combat bed bugs?
Oh, heavy salt. That's the best way to get rid of them. You know why? They don't like that stuff. Well, you know what? I don't care.
All right.
What's the plan with the salt? Are you just going to sprinkle it on the bed? How does this work?
I'm going to put it all around the floor slowly. Then I'm going to put some under the mattress.
I really don't think salt is the way to go.
This is the saddest of the saddest. I don't know what the hell you all are smoking, but this is a load of crapola.
Unbelievable. All right. I am finalizing the raffle names here. We have a Wayne Corbett signed helmet up for grabs. I see Neil is still going after Jake West here. We need a real rumble. We need the two of you on the screen debating the Jets. All right. Texas Jet fan says, been a Jet fan since 67, but I lost the passion some time ago. Look, I get that. But let's be real. If you're still watching a Jet show, Texas Jet fan, in April, 2 weeks from the draft, you're a real diehard. And that's the thing. So many great Jet channels out there, and the team's been dog crap. And the last couple of years, and I said this in real time, they've done real damage to the psyche of the fan base, and they've done long-term damage to the growth of the fan base. There's no casual Jet fans out there. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank P., who won a signed Garrett Wilson football on Saturday, which was sent out yesterday. Frank, I don't know if you saw my message. He is back for more. He's trying to win a Wayne Corbett signed helmet coming up shortly. He just gifted a 10 spot of channel memberships. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. That feels better. Oh, baby. All right. As they all say, Superman to the rescue.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right. Last chance here. We got the raffle coming up shortly. I got 10 names to read off from Frank. We appreciate you, Frank. Here are the 10 who got a membership. Ant Banks, Big Will, Keith Samasi, J-Mo, D-Biz, No Lane Height, Jack on Black, Dorcas, Bella, KJ, 042, all receiving a gifted membership there from our guy, Frank P. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Since we didn't have an ASMANIAC Madness matchup today, and it's only going to be this afternoon with Peg and Artie against Bobby Midnight, I want to play you right now a video that has been submitted by Peg and Artie to try and generate your support ahead of their big showdown against Bobby Midnight this afternoon. Once this video is done playing, I'm going to spin the raffle wheel, so you have about a minute to enter for your chance to win a signed Wayne Corbett helmet, which will be raffled away 1 minute from right now.
Hey, you want to go do some role playing?
Role playing?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Role playing.
I'll be right in.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I gotta go get Peg. Where is Peg? Let me get the Peg. Oh yeah. Wait a minute. What? What the heck is that?
Hey, dickwad. Nobody gives a shit. Don't mess with me, ass man. I got gas. You don't know shit about me. I'll crush you like a bug. And Gary, pay your fucking taxes, man.
Peg, this really wasn't what I expected. Listen, I gotta go outside, get ready for the ASMANIAC Madness challenge. We gotta call in. So get your shit together and I'll meet you outside.
Eat a bag of dicks.
What is there to say other than that is greatness personified? Shout out to Peg and Artie. They've crushed it during this tournament. We got one final battle this afternoon, and then the Sweet 16 is officially set. We have 15 ASMANIACs who have advanced. One to go before the Sweet 16 will get underway. Tomorrow afternoon, our first matchup in the Sweet 16 is the Lane Train, the 3 seed, against Chef Kevin, the 7 seed. And then Friday, we have a great one featuring the number 1 overall seed, Kyle Clifton, against the 5 seed, Peter Castro. All right, I'm ready for the Wheel of Champions. Is the Master of Raffle ceremony ready to lead us there? Ladies and gentlemen, it is time.
Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets!
Eric Bischoff coming to you live from the Global Studio headquarters, ready to go for the Wheel of Champions. Now is that we don't have much time to go. Let's go drafting to the wheel. Now to the Wheel of Champions. Can we spin that wheel and let's get some winners? At 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's spin the wheel and get some champions.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly ASMANIAC Raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which ASMANIAC is winning an epic prize.
Oh, yeah. The Wheel of Champions. Good luck to everyone who entered. This combines, of course, yesterday afternoon with Blow It and our first show that you're watching live right now. If you win, please email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, your name and address so I know where to send the Wayne Corbett signed helmet to. I'll even potentially be able to do it today because I got to go run some errands in between shows. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck to all, but only one could win. We're all winners around here, and you have a chance to win more signed items on Saturday. Here we go. One spin to determine a grand prize winner, and the winner is Frank P. He's on a roll. Congratulations to Frank. Frank, you are the winner of the Wayne Corbett helmet. Give some love for Frank in the chat. He is the winner of the prize. Mike says Jake's on a first name basis with the people at the UPS store. You ain't wrong. Shout out to my guy, Caesar, the manager there, who I see at sometimes multiple times a week. He's been shipping my raffle prizes for me for over a year already. All right. That does it for me. I want to thank you all for still tuning in again. Anyone who's watching Jet content and engaging with it every day, you truly are diehards. So you guys are the best. We'll be back this afternoon. Still working on a guest. Hopefully we'll get someone you guys will like. I think you will. Just waiting to hear back from a couple people, and we'll make it all happen for you. But on that note, that does it for me. RSVP to the draft party if you haven't already. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel as we are on the hunt for 45K. I'll talk to you guys soon. As always, let's go Jets, and I'll play you with an oldie but a goodie. Sit back and enjoy it. Let's go Jets.
Jets got to get this offensive line figured out. Because it doesn't matter who we have on the center, because these assholes can't hold the line. I don't mean, the fuck. I think there's a little fire over there. Hold on. Oh, Jake, I might need you to call 911. Oh, shit. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the hell's going on here? Oh, my Lord. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh.
Did somebody say Brock Bowers?
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go Jets.